Most rifle builds involve mixing and matching parts from different brands and hoping everything works together smoothly. But what happens when one company has the whole setup? Rifle, suppressor, and even the optic. Can a single brand like Griffin Armament actually do it all and compete with a mix and match approach? Well, today we're going to find out. Before we dive into the gear, let's take a step back and look at who Griffin Armament is and where they originated from. Griffin was founded by two brothers, Nick and Alex, who are both combat vets. After their military careers, they actually suffered from hearing loss and found themselves frustrated with the suppressors and firearm parts available on the market. They felt like they could do it better. So in 2005, they started Griffin Armament to protect the hearing of fellow shooters with their suppressors. What really sets them apart is their focus on engineering and innovation. They didn't just slap their name on products from other companies, they designed everything in-house, from suppressors to rifles, with precision and quality in mind. They quickly gained a reputation for crafting suppressors that not only performed well, but also improved the overall shooting experience, reducing recoil, minimizing sound, and keeping things running smoothly. Since then, they've grown into a full-service firearms brand, expanding their lineup to include rifles, optics, muzzle devices, and other accessories, all designed to work together as a system. Most of these components are made in-house, with the exception of their recently announced optics line, giving them tight control over quality and compatibility. The philosophy is simple. When you design and build nearly everything yourself, the end result just works better. That's the one-stop shop approach they're trying to create. So before we get into a review of this rifle specifically, I do want to disclose my relationship with Griffin Armament. They did send me this rifle out to do a review and testing with it, but no other exchange of money was done, but thought you guys should know that. And although they are a one-stop shop for your rifle, I did switch out the grips on this build just because I love these grips. I have a Die-Free Co. grip right here, and then a 3 Industries foregrip up here. If you are out on the range often, you know how important it is to keep a steady supply of ammo on hand and not rely on last-minute restocks or inconsistent availability. Yes, I might be talking about myself, but that's okay. That's where Ammo Squared comes in. They are America's ammunition reserve. You pick from over 70 different calibers, set your monthly budget, and let it build up over time. When you're ready, you ship it. Simple as that. They store everything in climate-controlled facilities so your ammo stays in good shape until you need it. No hidden fees, no minimums, and shipping's free on orders over $250. I found it's a solid way to keep training ammo stocked without having to think about it. And it's also great if you have a small budget or just want to build a stockpile without spending hundreds or thousands of dollars up front. It's a good way to stay ready without scrambling last minute. So, Ammo Squared. Alright, so let's talk about the Mark II Patrol 14.5-inch rifle, which is the core of this setup. If you're looking for something lightweight, reliable, and versatile, this rifle just might fit the bill. I was actually impressed with the feel of this gun when I first got my hands on it, especially at this price point, which is around $1,700. The Mark II Patrol is a direct impingement AR15 style rifle, and at 14.5 inches, it's a solid balance between being easy to handle and still packing enough punch and maintaining its accuracy. First off, this thing does feel sturdy. It's light, but also feels durable. Even with the full setup, it still feels manageable when you're transitioning between targets, and it doesn't feel like a burden to carry. The finish does seem good on this gun. The controls are easy to use, and we do have ambi features on this thing. The bolt catch lever is right above the mag release on the right-hand side, and it's easy to reach and manipulate, although I feel like it might be maybe a little too easy to manipulate, and maybe easy to bump unintentionally. Although I do think I like the bolt catch on my Radian ADAC lower a little bit better because it is integrated with the mag release. But at this price point, to see an ambidextrous bolt catch, it is pretty impressive. Now it has a 90-degree safety selector, which is easy to switch on and off right off the bat. With many other rifles, this tends to be pretty stiff at first, but not with this gun. When it comes to the performance, this rifle does run very smoothly. The gas system is tuned really well, making it really soft and steady even when mag dumping. And when I threw a suppressor on it, it cycled still very smoothly. I didn't do any crazy accuracy testing, but it held zero well, and it was very accurate even at longer distances. In the end, the Mark II Patrol is a solid option if you want something that's durable and easy to use at a reasonable price point. We have the dual lock 5 suppressor on this thing. It's just as the name suggests and has 2 locking systems. I love this because it is secure, but it's also very easy to put on and take off. Now I can't show this on YouTube, but Griffin does have some videos if you want to see how that works. And a plus is that you can actually see if it is fully locked or not. It has an EcoFlow baffle system and comes with a special end cap that helps reduce the muzzle flash, that firewall that you see when shooting, and it softens the recoil a bit. It is $1,000, which is not cheap, especially when you add in the tax stamp, but I think it's a solid suppressor for the price. As for the sound suppression, I'd say it's pretty good. It's not the best, I would say, but it is probably in the top 5 of the 5.56 cans that I've tested and shot. Also, I do want to shout out a sponsor of the channel, Silencer Shop. They've helped a lot with my tax stamp collection, as you can see from around me, so go check them out. The red dot we have on here is their new GRS sight. Now, this is unreleased at the moment. I don't know when exactly the release date is, but be on the lookout for that. It does have a T1 footprint and a 2X reticle. It performed well, didn't have any issues with it. Now, I don't know exactly what price point it's going to be at, but it is a solid option. So my shooting experience with this gun, when I first picked it up, I noticed how sturdy and balanced it felt. It really just felt like a solid unit. One of the noticeable things about this gun was actually the trigger. It just feels like a well-tuned trigger. It has a predictable wall and a nice clean break. It doesn't feel like your typical mil-spec trigger. As far as the controls, they're very tactile and predictable, easy to reach, easy to manipulate as well. And as far as recoil, it has very predictable, soft recoil, especially with the suppressor on it. And it just feels like a balanced, overall, just well-built gun. And I think it's important to note and keep in mind that Griffin's goal is to bring quality products at an affordable price point. I think they're really tailoring their guns towards those average American who really doesn't have like $3,000 to $5,000 to spend on a rifle, and is giving them a quality option that they can get right out of the box and it'll run reliably and will last them for a long time. I was impressed with this setup considering it's all from one brand, and it's honestly really nice being able to just grab this rifle and not really mess with anything. Most rifle builds involve mixing parts from different brands. While that can work, it often leads to trial and error, which is fine, but especially when it comes to things like suppressor mounting or gas tuning, it makes it difficult sometimes. Griffin takes a more integrated approach by designing most of their components, rifles, suppressors, muzzle devices, and optics mounts to work together as a system. Take suppressors, for example. If you've ever tried matching a can to a muzzle device from another brand, you know it doesn't always go smoothly, and there are so many different mounting systems out there. Griffin designs both, which means their suppressors and mounts are meant to align and lock up cleanly, less guesswork, fewer adjustments. The same goes for rifles and suppressors. Griffin builds their rifles with their own suppressors in mind, which helps with things like managing back pressure and ensuring reliable cycling. Rather than just selling individual products, they're designing components that consider how the whole system performs together. So if your goal is to spend less time troubleshooting and more time shooting, that level of integration can make a real difference. So this approach is really great for early shooters or budget-conscious shooters who want a functional rifle and accessories right out of the gate. So overall, I think Griffin did a good job at offering a reliable, budget-conscious build that doesn't feel like a compromise. I actually feel pretty confident in this gun that I am actually letting my sister-in-law use it for a few competitions. She's actually doing tactical games with me for the first time this year. She's just getting into shooting, and I think this is the perfect rifle to get started on. So does a one-stop shop really work? I think so, and I think Griffin is a good example of that. A lot of other companies are not only adding suppressors to their rifle lineup, but also optics and other accessories as well. But Griffin Armament is one of the few that have started this really early on, and I think have done a good job at it. And I think have mastered it at this point. Well, what do you guys think of the one-stop shop approach? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. But also like and subscribe and check out down below for ways to support the channel. And we'll catch you in the next episode.